Medicine is hard. Don't do it. They are trying to take your life. It's a trap. There is no way out. We have to study 24 hours in a day. You take tests every minute in school. There is no way out. And that's all. I'm done. I'm quitting. Well, of course, I'm kidding. Medicine is actually not one of the easiest courses to study or even one of the fastest courses to study. But of course, it's probably not as hard as we make it to seem or as we talk about. Yeah, obviously there are a lot of deadlines, there are a lot of tests to write, there are a lot of things to cram to study. But it's not a place where they're trying to make you live your worst life in the university. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. And oh boy, it's been long. If you're still here, I'm Samuel, a third year medical student currently studying in Russia. And in this channel, we talk about productivity, time management, and my life generally as a medical student. And so if you're up for topics like this and you love to see videos on these topics, then try to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any video that I drop on this channel anytime I drop the videos. So a lot of time, a particular question comes to my head, like if I have the knowledge I have now, about 4 years ago or 3 years ago before I entered into medicine, would I probably still study medicine or would I probably still go into medicine? And that's why today I'm making a video about the 3 things, or some things, probably more than 3, that I wish I knew before I entered into the medical school. First, let's get a little bit comfortable and do a background checkup. Yeah, so back in the days, in my prime days, when I was in primary school, of course, I wasn't in the path of medicine. Obviously, it was in my dreams, but academically speaking, I wasn't in the path to study medicine because I graduated my primary school without a single award. Obviously, it's not a requirement to study medicine, but obviously we're just doing a background checkup here. And obviously, obviously. And also, it's not like I eventually graduated secondary school with plenty of awards. Yeah, I had awards, but they weren't good because if you had people like Evelyn in your class, there's only much you can do. And so that was how it went for my primary school and secondary school. In fact, at my first try of getting medicine in a Nigerian university, I failed because obviously I wasn't up to the task at that time, and it was a very tough year for me, 2017. But come 2018, I had 2 admissions to medicine, and I became a medical student in 2018. And so actually medicine is not as hard as we make it seem to look like. Yeah, it's probably as bulky as we make it to seem like, or as voluminous as we make it to seem like, or even more. Probably not as hard. And in fact, a lot of people who enter into the medical school to study medicine eventually become doctors. So it's not like a large percentage of people who enter into the medical school get laid off before graduating. And in fact, out of those who don't graduate to become medical students, a larger percentage of them left not due to academic reasons. They left probably different reasons, life and any other thing like that. The first thing I wish I knew before entering into medical school is to start slowly. Of course, saying this might actually be different from what a lot of people think or from what a lot of people feel when they're trying to get into medical school. It's important to obviously have the energy. Some people be like, oh, we're smashing this, oh, I'm getting first class, oh, I'm going to get the red diploma, I'm going to be the best student in my class, and we're giving the energy from the first day. Of course, it's very important to have an amount of energy to actually achieve a goal in medical school, but it's far more important the way you distribute the energy, because medicine is not a sprint, it's actually a marathon. And so it's important for you not to exhaust all your energy at the beginning of the race, because eventually 4 years time, 5 years time, you are still studying medicine? Are you still going to have the same energy you had at the... Personally, for me, if you study in Russia as a foreigner, there is this thing they call the preparatory faculty, подготовительный faculty. This is where foreigners are taught the Russian language, and for me, I was taking this too serious. Yeah, we should take it serious because we're learning the language, and it's important for us because the next year we're going to be moving into the medical school, and they're going to be talking like they're talking to normal Russian. So it's important for you to take this language here serious so you can understand when you move to the medical school. But I took it a little bit too serious in the sense that I really didn't give myself a break. I really didn't actually explore the city that first year. I didn't know a lot of places because I was more of into the academics. I wanted to get the awards and everything. But coming to think about it now, it actually didn't matter. Yeah, probably there are some advantages to actually having that type of energy. But obviously, thinking about it now, I feel like if I go back to study in the preparatory faculty now, I'll do it a little bit different in the sense that I'll spend more time actually exploring the city, enjoying my life, because actually this is a new country, and of course it's a new environment, and it's important to obviously explore and do all those kind of things. But generally what I'm saying is that you should actually start slowly, in the sense that the first years are actually the years where you're probably doing the basic stuff and things you probably knew before from your secondary school. So you shouldn't give yourself too much pressure when you're starting, because boy, you're going to start pharmacology in some years, and that is when a lot of energy will be needed and a lot of concentration on everything will be needed. Second thing I wish I knew before entering into the medical school is to make the whole medical school or the journey through the medical school fun for me, and not something too serious or too, I don't know. Oh God. Second thing I wish I knew before I entered into the medical school was to make the whole process or the whole journey through the medical school more fun for me, to enjoy the whole process. Now, according to Parkinson's law, it states that work expands to fill the time allocated to it. So if you have a single job to do and you give it a whole day to do, you can do the job a whole day, split it, do some in the morning, break, do some in the afternoon. And if you want to do that job, if possible, in 30 minutes, towards the end of the day, you can also do it and just do every single thing in that 30 minutes. So what am I trying to say is that you have 7 or 6 years probably to study in the medical school. You can use these 6 years to study just medicine and not do any single thing else. Everything you're going to do for the next 6 years is just going to be about medicine, and it's going to be fine. And also you can decide to do medicine and some other things side also, and whatever you might think, or your hobby and all of that. And you might still graduate excellently. You will obviously still graduate as a medical doctor. So this is one thing that currently is helping me pick some other skills: graphics design, videography, photography, programming, and all of those things. Because trust me, as much as we say medical school is bulky, medical school is very, there's a lot of pressure and everything, you will still have time to do those things, because you are not going to be, like I said, you're not going to be writing tests every single day. There are going to be breaks, there are going to be holidays and everything. These times you can decide to use them, to reinvest them into medicine, or you can decide to invest them in other things. Some of you might not really be the medical guy or someone who is really fascinated about medicine. You might actually want to just have the degree and do business. This is the time to actually pick up those side hustles, because you might some people obviously will graduate as just medical doctors when we finish, and some people also graduate not just as medical doctors. Some people will probably graduate with 1 or 2 businesses already, 1 or 2 startups already, and that's just fun if you want to go through that line, because it's something you can already think about. You don't have to just say, oh, the next 6 years I'm going into medicine and nothing else, or not thinking about anything else. Finally, the third main point I'm going to be talking about is that medicine is more about family than a solo thing. Now, while I can't really speak for other courses or other schools, specifically medical school, or specifically my own medical school, succeeding in it is not only depending on what you can do on your own power, but more on your circle of friends, more on your seniors or those that are helping you or whatever. Because like I said, medicine is not a sprint, it's like a marathon, and while you are going through the marathon, there are people who are cheering you up. By the way, there are people who are probably, if possible, handing you drink or something to just keep your energy going or to help you finish the race. Okay, let me give you an example. About some weeks ago, obviously, I started studying pharmacology about September this year, and after studying pharmacology for about a month, we were going to write a test from everything we've written, pharmacodynamics, pharmacokinetics, and writing drugs and everything. And trust me, I was studying because I was going to answer orally the next day. I was studying, really studying. I was getting prepared for this test. I was going to smash it the next day. And there's this friend of mine, we play FIFA together. Of course, I have time to play games sometimes. And so he came to my room and he was trying to ask me a question. And I gave him the book I was studying, and then he went straight to the first page of the book. And he asked me a question from the first page. And I was like, fam, we don't really have to study that, fam. We don't have to read the first page. Why are you asking me a question from the first page? And it was like last year, because it's my senior, it was like last year, he went to answer to the teacher, and we had the same teacher, and the teacher asked him exactly the question from the first page, and he also wasn't prepared. And so I was like, wow. Then I studied the first page. Brethren, lo and behold, sisters and brothers, I was asked this question from the first page. If I hadn't studied it, or if I didn't have that connection with him, or if I didn't get help from him, I probably would have failed, because that was pretty much what she asked me, aside some other pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetic questions. But it was very important because she asked me first, I guess, a question from the first page. And so it's important that it's not just that we are trying to pass and everything, but it's also important to form connection, to form the family when we are in the medical school. So that's been it. Thank you so much for being here. A lot of viewers have come, a lot of subscribers have come even while I wasn't recording, and I'm so happy. I don't know how this channel is going to be, but I'll try and keep uploading more frequently than before. And I love you guys so much. So that's been it. See you guys soon. Peace.